Kid Muscle is son of the legendary King Muscle, which also makes him the Prince of Muscle Planet. He's every bit as talented and clumsy as his old man. Sure, the kid's still greener than a spinach salad, but if he just settled down and focused, he'd be unstoppable. I mean, the sky would be the limit for this kid. Terry the Grand Kenyan is the son of the legendary Terry Man, and whoa boy is this kid full of fire. He's wilder than an untamed thoroughbred. I'd even rank him #1 over anyone else when it comes to being fearless. His father never won the crown, a fact that sticks in Terry's craw, but it makes him a better wrestler. He's got promise, I tell ya, and lots of it. You might look at him and think doofus, right? Like, what's a walrus doing in a wrestling ring? Truth is, Wally Tuskett is a standout among the new generation, and it ain't 'cause he's got tusks. The only thing standing in his way is he's so good-natured, he often feels sorry for the other guy. But when this ton of blubber's on a roll, watch out. He can hold his own with just about anyone. Dick Van Dyke graduated #1 in his class from the Hercules factory. You know, where the best muscle leaguers get trained to hit the ropes. If only he spent less time talking a good game and more time doing it, Dick would be up there with the best of them. He's got strength and speed, and not just how he runs at the mouth. What this guy needs is some major competition, and then, oh boy, watch out! Kevin Nash is the Iron Knight, one of the most mysterious wrestlers of them all. He's heir to the M.U.S.C.L.E. dynasty, one of the greatest wrestling families that ever lived. But boy, this guy's got issues, up the wazoo. He gets mad at his father, so he joins the evil DMP. Then when that don't work out, he goes it alone. But Kev's got the goods, no doubt about it. He's one of the best. Jaeger's one of the stars of the new generation. We like to say he's the German who keeps them squirming. His longtime trainer, Brockton Jr., is like a father to this kid, and for good reason. Jaeger's one of the guys who's as steady as they get, but once he unleashes his signature attack, you better duck for cover. It's called the Red Rain of Pain, and it's one hot move, believe you me. Raised by evil mastermind Sunshine, Checkmate was one of the best of the bad guys, but then he joined the M.U.S.C.L.E. Word is, fighting with Kid Muscle roused up all these good feelings he had tucked away deep down inside. And I can believe it, because with the ability to assume up to 4 different forms during a match, he must have a lot of room in there. Scar is a piece of work, let me tell you. He may be a member of that new crop of wrestlers called Generation X, but all I ask is why? Why does he look like a thug and dress like one too? And how about that voice? It's like he's making you an offer you can't refuse. Call it Trojan's intuition or whatever you want, but something tells me this guy's a creep. Look up the word brutal in the dictionary and you see this guy, Hanzo. This bad boy is known all over the universe as a ruthless samurai who would just as soon slam you to the concrete as he would shake your hand. Though recently he's been softening up just a bit, he still has his harsh side, especially when he's in the ring. Here's a guy you don't want to meet down a dark alley, Bone Cold. But don't worry, you won't, because you'd never see him coming. He's as sneaky and stealthy as they come. Not to mention lightning quick and pinpoint accurate in the ring. Yeah, he's got a killer's instinct, all right. But then what else would you expect from a guy named Bone Cold? King Muscle is the legend of legends. Heck, I've lost count of how many belts he's won, how many trophies he's taken home, how many times he's triumphed over evil. Sure, he can be a bit of a goofball at times, but when it comes right down to it, he always steps up to the plate. His secret to success? Tireless hard work and always looking out for his friends. Terry Man is an easygoing country boy outside the ring, but once he gets in between those ropes, watch out. This Texas Bronco is as wild as they come. And though his son Terry the Grand Kenyan is beginning to take the wrestling reins away from the old man, this cowboy's still got a lot of pep left in him and a truck full of experience to boot. Ramen Man is said to be one of the best technical fighters out there. And having mastered well over 1,000 different moves that he can use at the drop of a hat, I'm inclined to agree. He's adapted all the best martial arts into one special style designed specifically for him. So watch out, because if this guy's not blocking your moves, he's putting one on you. Buffalo Man is the ultimate power fighter. With his long horns and titanic arms, this guy might as well be a one-man wrecking crew. Sure, he doesn't know as many moves and holds as some of the other wrestlers, but he more than makes up for it in massive muscles. Hailed for years as the pride of Britain, Robin Mask's been a leader both in and outside the ring. He takes every move to the max and every hold to the hilt. That's what makes this veteran so dangerous. Sure, he may be past his prime, but you'd never know it the way he handles himself. Sure, Brocken Jr. wasn't the most talented among the legends, but he was one of the best trainers the league has ever known. The word quit isn't in his vocabulary, though maybe it should be, because he did quit the Muscle League to go it alone. But the point is that Brocken Jr.'s relentless will and determination is unsurpassed, and it puts him on the winning side of many a tough match. Sunshine is one big bad behemoth. He's the guy who kicks sand in your face at the beach. And seeing how he's made of sand, he doesn't even have to wait for you to go to the beach to do it. In fact, with his morphing power, Sunshine has a vast array of ways to bully his opponents. He's as tough as they come. Being half man and half machine, Warsman is the perfect wrestling hybrid. This Russian tinhead can process a move in a millisecond and then bust it out a moment later with his brute strength. He's a number cruncher and a people cruncher, but every once in a while his human side takes complete control. Ninja Ned is a true master of deception, not to mention a keeper of the ninja code, meaning he goes so far as to even lay down his own life to fulfill his duty. Everything about this guy is tough, tough, tough. Skulduggery is from the faraway Skull Planet and claims to be the archenemy of King Muscle. But I gotta say, is he even worthy of the part? I mean, the guy's all bones. There's not an ounce of muscle on him. Of course, with the amount of cheap shots this guy uses, who needs muscles? Still, he's on a mission to beat the king, and he may do it yet. Along with Sunshine, Shyvana is another bad guy who's leading the fight against the Muscle League. And with his 6 arms and 3 faces, this guy definitely has the manpower to do it. He's sort of like 3 wrestlers in one. And on top of all that, he's got one heck of a nasty temper. So don't dare cross him. Any of them. Manitoban doesn't have much going for him other than his massive brawn. Let's just say when they were handing out brains, Manitoban must have been in a batch room. He's a major thrasher and basher, though, so he's at least got that going for him. But all in all, he's got little to show for himself and a heck of a lot to prove. Special Man, just like his buddy Manitoban, is out to prove himself and earn a reputation as an elite wrestler. He's a soft-spoken guy, but don't let that fool you. He's got loads and loads of confidence. Not to mention he's quick as a fox. It won't be long before the rest of the world is tuned into this up-and-coming scrapper. They don't call him special for nothing. Black Hole is quickly becoming one of the most feared wrestling villains out there. True to his name, this guy's a manipulator of dimensional space, which means he can take the universe and twist it to his every whim. Sounds scary? It is. This is definitely one bad guy you don't want to mess with. Problem is, he's usually the one to mess with you. Starface's specialty is aerial attacks and acrobatics, and when he's doing his thing, he makes an Olympic gymnast look like a rank amateur. Along with his great flexibility and wiry strength, he's got sneaky speed too. Word on the street is he can even stop time and freeze his opponents. Susumu has an ego as inflated as his gut, but this sumo has every right to feel good about himself. The guy's a workaholic, training day in and day out. He'll run drills until he's ready to puke, which, believe me, is not a pretty sight. Susumi's specialty is to charge in and stir up the action. He definitely doesn't wait for the fight to come to him. With a lot of hard work and dedication, Beetlebomb found a new life for himself among wrestling's elite. And he fits right in, too. After all, with his wild attack style and iron will, Beetlebomb is always a threat. Neptune Man's stupendous power is right up there with his good pal Buffalo Man's. His deadly bomber shot has taken out so many Muscle Leaguers I can't even remember their names. And after that devastating move, I'm sure they probably couldn't either. Neptune Man is a restless wrestler, a true champion. With his size, power, and impenetrable armor, Big Budo is like a great big tank. He's Neptune Man's right-hand man, and with the moves this guy's got, there's no better right-hand man to have. You better bring out the big guns if you plan on making a dent in this guy's armor. Prince Luau is a big-time legend who's defended his tropical title 999 times. One more and he gets a t-shirt. He's a master grappler who's perfected 48 stealth moves along with 52 grappling moves, all of which he's passed down to King Muscle. Prince Luau is a real wrestling pioneer. Rogue Shogun is the head honcho of a lot of big-time bad guys, and with his primo strength, unmatched charisma, and ruthless way of doing things, he's definitely the man for the job. Inside and outside the ring, Rogue Shogun is an absolute terror and spares no mercy to his opponents. As King Muscle's tag team partner, this guy was able to shine in many a tournament, but still somehow stay in the shadows. He's none other than Prince Luau, still fighting at the age of 80. Lord Muscle, wounded by a freak accident involving the DMP, handed his mask to this unknown before his passing. Turns out this stranger was none other than Terry Man, new and improved. This unknown has eye-catching slick moves. No surprise, it was Ramen Man. He may have changed his style a bit to stay undercover, but you can only hide brilliance for so long. This Barracuda guy has a whole bunch of know-how tucked up his sleeve. No wonder, though, he's Robin Mask in disguise. Can you believe it? The same guy who once entrusted his star student Warsman to overthrow King Muscle is now back in action. Poseidon was hailed as the best of the older generation, but I thought he was long gone until I learned he was the mastermind running the Legion of Ultimate Wrestlers in disguise as Big Budo. And he's still got skills, too, so stay sharp. After getting his butt kicked around by the heroes, Sunshine's decided to reinvent himself with a whole slew of brand new maneuvers. He's added the dreaded Curse Roller, among others, to his arsenal. Now he's back as Sunshine Supreme, bigger and badder than ever. If you thought he was scary before, you ain't seen nothing yet. The man who stands before you is none other than Commander King Muscle, the 58th king of Muscle Planet. When it comes to wrestling, this guy's got it all. Power, technique, and presence. He's the best of the best, the greatest of the great, the champion of champions. Rumor has it, Street Scrapper was once the top wrestler in all of England, supposedly knocking out every opponent he fought. But the undefeated champ was pretty bummed at being all alone at the top, so he disappeared, only to return as Neptune Man. You might as well take the man out of Buffalo Man, because the guy's basically pure beast now, a wrecking machine. That's what happens when you start messing with the dark side. Without a single ounce of good left in him, you can expect nothing but pure savagery from this animal. Gold Rogue was worshipped as the king of fighting not too long ago, but now he's back as Rogue Shogun, and with his body and soul all restored, he's just itching to send the world into complete chaos. Simply referred to as Grandpa, he's the 57th king of Muscle Planet and the champion of the 10th Trojan Crown, something he brags about any chance he gets. He's got quite a few moves, but the Iron Claw is definitely his specialty. Don't be duped by his age. This is King Muscle's dad, and he's ready to show the world what old school wrestling's all about. Vance Mcmahon is the head honcho of the Muscle League. But he wasn't always. Born on planet Harabote, Vance was a famous tough-as-nails wrestler in his prime. In fact, back in the day, Vance would often duke it out against Grandpa. But his thick skin is thinned out lately, and I'd say he targets most of his anger at Kid Muscle. For some reason, Kid really pushes his buttons. Part jet, part man, Comrade Turbinski has grounded lots of opponents with his dogfighting skills. He's an expert in the way of things aircraft and can transform into practically anything with wings. But don't be fooled, this fierce Russian can fight on the ground too. Ricardo, aka the Brazilian Bull, is an expert submission artist, possessing some of the greatest grappling skills of his generation. He comes off as a clean fighter, and for the most part he is, but believe you me, he's got a mean streak, and it rears its ugly face every now and again. Kid Muscle's really come a long way in all his battles. Heck, we may as well call him the Trojan Kid. Of course, being from the Royal Kinnikuman family and the ace of a new generation of wrestlers, defeat is never an option. Lord Flash is as close to a friend as Kevin Mask has ever had. He's given up just about everything to devote his time and energy to training and coaching Kev. And I gotta give him credit, because I wouldn't say Kev's exactly grateful. Flash's mind is as sharp as his stare, but this guy's got more than a few secrets under that mask of his. Like, for starters, who he really is. Just call him Ricardo, Lord of Darkness. He's a supervillain who's super cruel and has no qualms dishing out diabolical blows left and right. It's more than just taking the match for him, it's about taking you out.